We're going to talk for a few minutes about air rifles. And I know, when I say air rifle, I know exactly what you're thinking. But air rifles and pistols have grown up, and the latest technology makes them suitable for everything from honing your shooting skills to big game hunting. And serious air guns go back much farther than you think. In fact, the first repeating rifle adopted by any nation's army was an air gun. The Girardoni was an air-powered musket capable of hurling a .46 caliber piece of lead downrange at muzzle velocities equivalent to a .45 automatic pistol. It held compressed air in the buttstock, which unscrewed and could be changed quickly. 20 rounds were stored in a side loading rack, and the gun could fire 80 of them before power began diminishing. You could hit a man in the head at 50 yards, and it would kill at 100. It was adopted by the Austrian army in 1780 and actually used in battle against Napoleon. The gun was carried by Lewis and Clark on their expedition in 1803 and is credited with not only procuring game, but amazing Indian tribes during the trip. Now, growing up in our neck of the woods, pretty much every boy had an air rifle like this Daisy Model 25 in pretty much continuous production since 1914. Later, they decided to design guns that looked like the real thing, like this 1894, which was my first BB gun, and an almost exact copy of the Winchester Model 1894. Nowadays, CO2-powered air pistols are made by companies like Smith & Wesson and Beretta, and are exact copies of the real handguns, like this Smith & Wesson R8 revolver, which is identical to the real thing. That being the case, the guns allow shooters to practice very cheaply with a gun that feels and operates like their actual firearm. By the early 20th century, gun laws in Europe particularly were growing very, very strict. And owning a rifle, doing any hunting, owning a pistol particularly, became more and more difficult. Well, human nature being what it is, people started looking for a way to do the things they'd always enjoyed within the law. And that led to the development of simple one-cock air guns with muzzle velocities rivaling a .22 rifle. They're used extensively around the world for small game. But then we come to real air guns, and that brought us to Chris Vaughn of Bullard. Chris is an airgun enthusiast, and his specialty is what are known as pre-charged pneumatic air guns. These are rifles that load up with compressed air, or nitrogen in Chris's case, from a pressurized tank.
A lot of these are dealing with 3,000 psi of pressure.
And the range of calibers is astounding, from a .22 or .25 caliber pellet up to a .357, .308, or .50 caliber musket ball.
This is a .25 caliber air rifle. It's a Daystate MCT, and it was actually made in England.
Dead center. And the accuracy is astounding.
You can actually shoot this one about 60 times on a field.
From Russia comes this expensive beauty looking for all the world like a military firearm. But the big .50 caliber Quackenbush was figuratively and literally a blast. And there's going to be no recoil, huh?
No recoil.
What do you mean, no recoil?
Woo! That's a good one.
I like that.
Yep.
And look at the size of the hole. One of the most powerful production air guns on the market is made in the USA, the Benjamin Rogue 357. And they are useful. Many states from New Jersey to California allow air gun hunting. But in a state that allows bow hunting, crossbow hunting, and black powder rifle hunting, Texas has so far said no to air guns. You heard me, California is more progressive in its hunting laws than Texas.
That's an air rifle with a 200-pound wild boar.
And it ranges from small game to pests to large animals like feral hogs to deer and buffalo. That's right, buffalo with an air rifle. So, given the price of ammunition these days, it looks like air guns can provide the fun, skill training, and practice you need for pennies.
Nearly the same hole on that one.
And if you live in the right place, they can also put meat on the table. Roger Gray, KHK News.